No, this is not Guardians or a bad girl version of Superman. The trailer for Supergirl Women of Tomorrow just released. And for the uninitiated, it may seem like a Guardians of the Galaxy film or a What If Superman was from the Batgirls Club. First of all, let me be the one to break it to you. The DC universe be in space. Especially since the next project is Lanterns, be ready for some space. I tell you, this story is going to be so much more than some jukebox space odyssey. I'm not saying that Guardians is. I love those films. I'm saying that this is not some cheap replica of it. The story is about this little girl named Ruthie who commissions Supergirl on her plot for revenge. There are a couple things that make this story so incredibly interesting. The first one being the existentialism that Supergirl is experiencing, especially after seeing what type of man Clark has grown up to be. If you're unfamiliar with the lore, unlike Superman, who was raised on Earth and has no memories of Krypton, Supergirl has lived a life on Krypton and has to move on after the extinction of her people. She has to find her place in the universe. That's after meeting her cousin, who is Superman. You imagine trying to live your life and figure out who you are, and your counterpart is Superman? And that pressure is not just on the character. Millie herself has the burden of this film's legacy during her own debut. But seeing how differently Supergirl exhibits love and compassion is what makes this story so unique. Superman's level of heroicism is unobtainable. But every good hero in the DC universe is striving to be as good of a hero as Superman, which makes her ironically more human than she knows. The best part of this story is that it's narrated by this little girl. So just like stories like Interview with the Vampire, we are getting information from an unreliable narrator. Finally, this story can't be anything like Guardians or Superman simply because the main protagonist is a woman, and that fundamentally changes all of her interactions and motivations. Say all that to let y'all all know I will be sad. And I don't know what that's worth, because obviously I have a huge stake in DC. I've loved it forever, even when y'all talk shit about me loving the CW. I have to say, this is one of my favorite DC stories. I personally think that Tom King's best work will always be his short runs. Vision Quest, Mr. Miracle, and Supergirl, top 3 of all time. Art is also breathtaking. I cannot stress that enough. Sorry, I have to flex here, but also as someone who has an internally optimistic co-host that people in the community looks up to, Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow hits me very differently. Now, let me tell you that. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is a story of a woman trying her best, and her best is enough. We're gonna ride on the 26th. Read the comic. Stop playing. It'll take you a couple hours, I promise. But tell me, have you seen the trailer, and what were your thoughts? Let me know in my comments below.